Now, here's a question. Would you say the same about BLM, or BLM is slightly different than Antifa?
So BLM is definitely different. I will say that there's likely a lot of overlap, but Black Lives Matter is still a Marxist organization. But the interesting thing is that they actually use a different tactics. Actually, explain the two different tactics. Antifa uses something that's known as propaganda by the deed, which is invented by French anarchists. And propaganda by the deed is a political tactic in which you enact political violence against your opponents in order to inspire others to take up arms, kind of like a call to arms, kind of, if you will. And you see this time and time again. Every time, for example, in Portland, they would say, come on, we need more. We're getting away with it. We're taking down the police. We need more help. That's propaganda by the deed. Well, the Black Lives Matter movement uses a different tactic known as the mass line. The mass line was invented by Mao Zedong, and it is the reason why China today is a communist country. The purpose of the mass line is to infiltrate honest movements and inject them with a dose of Marxism. So everything that is wrong in the world is because of is the fault of capitalism. And Black Lives Matter is supposed to be a movement to stop police brutality. Okay. Well, when you look at their objectives, up until very recently, right before the election, it was to destroy the nuclear family. Well, that's a Marxist belief. And that's what they're doing. They're trying to sugarcoat Marxist beliefs into palatable statements that every American can swallow. And I mean, everybody, a few months ago, founders of the Black Lives Matter movement said, we have an ideological framework. We're trained organizers. We're trained Marxists. There was a lot of conservatives who rightfully said, see, we told you, they're actually Marxists. But a lot of people missed the phrase right before that. We're trained organizers. Well, trained in what? They're trained to organize under the mass line. So while there is a lot of, they do use different tactics though, there is a lot of overlap because both of them are radical leftist activists. And it would not surprise me if a lot of the leaders from the Black Lives Matter movement also put on the black mask from time to time, even though at the ground level, there are a lot of Black Lives Matter protesters who they don't understand that they belong to a movement that is a radical leftist movement that is not seeking to end police brutality, but to end the capitalist system as a whole.